Israeli airstrikes are hammering Gaza right now as the IDF has mobilized roughly 300,000 troops, and a ground operation into Gaza appears to be coming soon. The first shipment of advanced munitions from the U.S. arrived in Israel today. You see that video there. Let's discuss with Major John Spencer. He's an Army veteran and chair of urban warfare studies at West Point. He's also the co-author of Understanding Urban Warfare. Sir, thank you so much for being with us. Among the challenges you say that the IDF could face in Gaza, as we take a look at some drone footage from that area, you mentioned rockets, drones, tunnels, even civilian human shields. What's your concern about a ground operation there? How do the Israelis combat all of that?
Yeah, I mean, the Israelis have thought through a lot of that, and there's lots of ways, especially the human shield, right? That's the big giant concern of the operation in any of the urban areas in Gaza. But the IDF know how to tell the civilians to leave. They've already issued videos, photos, text, but it's hard because Hamas also is very known in all past operations to keep those civilians in those buildings, to keep them on the streets, and then air their deaths as a pursuit of their objectives.
Major, I do want to show our viewers some video of the tanks that are being amassed by Israel. Given the dense terrain in Gaza, the fact that it is a very urban setting, are vehicles like these usable? What's the most effective weaponry there?
Vehicles like those are vital to entering a dense urban area that is defended by, this kind of enemy force. You have to be able to take the first shot. So they'll lead with bulldozers, follow with a tank that can shoot back at a concrete building. The tank is like one of the most vital pieces of equipment you need in a fight like this, a contested urban environment.
And how about the capabilities that Hamas has? Do they have the ammunition, the air power to stop Israel?
No, not at all. I mean, there's no way around it. This will be a costly operation if executed on all sides, on the IDF, on collateral damage. But no, the Hamas doesn't have, they don't even have a phased defensive line like ISIS did in the Battle of Mosul. But they can make it very costly on the IDF through anti-tank guided munitions, rockets, all those things that, house bombs, things like that, but they can't stop it.
Major, I wanted to get your thoughts on the potential for this to be a multi-front conflict for Israel, because we've gotten reports that there was some Hezbollah activity here in the border with Lebanon. There are obviously a lot of groups in Syria that are anti-Israel. You've got the Golan Heights and the West Bank here, and then the focus being Gaza. Could all of that stretch the IDF thin?
Absolutely, it could. I mean, that's the concern. They're massing, like you said, 300,000 reserves. Really, if you add the active duty, that's 400,000 soldiers. An operation into Gaza will take 100 plus over that 1,000 forces actually in the fight. So yes, a different front, a second front, a third front would stretch the IDF thin and be really challenging. And that's why this is a very sensitive situation. It does look like Israel plans to execute the Gaza mission, but it'll be trying to keep that second front, the third front from opening for sure.
There are also questions about how Israel might be able to eliminate the leadership of Hamas, one of the stated goals from officials in Israel, partly because there are a series of tunnels through Gaza. There are bunkers. There's also the issue that some of the Hamas leadership may have fled Gaza altogether. They may be in Egypt. Is there any scenario you think in Israel's pursuit of Hamas leadership in which it doesn't lead to a drawn-out military presence for Israel in Gaza?
That's a tough one, and you're right. There are hundreds of miles, not just a few, hundreds of miles of tunnels underneath Gaza in the urban environments in Gaza. That poses a huge military challenge. But you're right. It also allows Hamas leadership, if they're even still there, to be able to hide, escape, and to contain them would be really hard. But of those objectives that IDF has said that they want to accomplish, it's also about removing the military capability, which is a very bold objective they haven't tried before, which you have to go in and clear urban terrain to do that.
Yeah, Major John Spencer, thanks so much for sharing your perspective with us.